Thank you for the presentation. I was a little worried looking at the title that afterward we could all go home, but I think you've left us with enough so we can continue with the rest of the speakers. Our next speaker is Rad Dockery. He is the President and Chief Executive Officer of Higher Eye Training and Consulting. He has delivered training for businesses, educators, and young people in Asia, Southeast Asia, the Americas, and Sub-Saharan Africa. As a community volunteer, Radcliffe has hands-on knowledge about the challenges facing youth people around the world. He has used this knowledge base that he has to strengthen CSR initiatives for companies across various sectors. He has been featured on CBC News World, Business News Network, and CIM Magazine. He has an honors business degree and a certificate in strategic alliances from York University. He has worked for companies such as HBC, Zurich, TELUS, IBM, AT&T, and Canada Post. This includes roles in marketing, training, and strategic alliances. So I'll have Radcliffe Dockery come up and speak. And he is a board member of the Chamber, I've just been informed.
Thank you. Bruce and Wayne's not here. Normally I'm the first guy after lunch, so thanks for the break. My disclaimer is I am responsible for everything I say. And I'm not politically correct. I'm very blunt. So if you're not used to someone who's very blunt, I apologize in advance. But the topic's about youth diversity in Canada and what I believe is an untapped advantage that Canadian companies across mining, oil and gas, etc., do not use to our advantage when conducting corporate social responsibility. How does youth culture impact an industry? Now, I'm a board member of the Chamber. I've learned a lot about mining over the last 3 years as a member of the Chamber itself. And the sector, the extractive sector, just sat there and watched people slam your industry. So when young people see a Kanye West video called Diamonds Are Forever, Diamonds for Sierra Leone, and the video showing young girls digging diamonds with their hands, and all the young kids on the street are now singing Diamonds Are Forever, not the James Bond version, but Kanye West version. And now they start asking, what do you mean diamonds in Sierra Leone? When kids at 4 years old are asking in school, what about diamonds? And when these kids become 22 years old, what about the extractive sector? The hip-hop industry called you guys out. So lots of them say, well, these rappers and these Beyoncés, they don't mean anything. They have massive influence on people. I do business in Indonesia. Beyonce packed up a 70,000-seat stadium 6 nights in a row. When they stand up for a social issue, everybody listens. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to sit here and say, it doesn't matter? Well, according to the stats, and this is from the PDAC, I got to the Vancouver seminar, your industry ranks almost at the bottom for CSR. So to Michael's point about CSR failing, there are some good examples. Bangalore Corporation does some really good work. There are some examples of projects I've been involved in, but look at where your sector ranks. This is from the PDAC, I didn't make this up. No, I'm pretty sure now, in this day and age, the banks will probably be a bit lower than they normally are. What's going on Wall Street. What PDAC presented us, well, you're from PDAC. But when you think about it, with all of these CSR efforts, with all of the nice websites you see, with all these beautiful reports you get, like this one, you get all these beautiful reports here, right? CSR summary, CSR report, beautiful pictures of African kids holding baskets. But look at the rank. Does that make sense? Something's not working. I mean, business 101. If you're investing in a project, you're not getting a return, what are your investors going to say? Fix it. Why is RIM in trouble right now? Investors are saying keep doing the same thing and nothing's working. Change it. And the oil and gas industry right below mining is not a coincidence. Mainstream culture has come after you guys. So why do so many companies have CSR, or what they call community outreach departments? Reduce risk. There are tax and financial incentives, and let's just be honest. This is not when I was in high school, I didn't have the internet. A kid right now could go on the internet and figure you out really quick if you're legitimate or not, if you're authentic in what you do or not. There are regulatory requirements, as a lot of the speakers have earlier spoke about. It's feel-good reasons. Make you feel good about what a company is doing in an industry. You should feel good about it, and that is important. But CSR community outreach is more than just protocols, it's impact. We can have 5 million protocols, and we do. But what good is it if it doesn't impact the people on the ground? What good is it? Likewise, you could break every protocol in the book, but if 1 million kids in a country say, I feel empowered, I'm ready to roll, are you going to look at them and say, whoa, this protocol was violated, so we're going to take away all the good stuff away from you? But that's how we operate. You need protocols to set a standard, but you need execution, authentic execution. And you cannot be authentic if you do not engage the young people. Emerging markets, Africa, 60% of Africa is under 25. If you don't engage young people, your CSR is a waste. We just came back from Southeast Asia. The young people there are completely disconnected. You have Islamic banks working with us right now trying to figure out how to connect to young people. Are you going to tell me banks here in Canada can't figure it out? CSR should create opportunities for people to volunteer and give back. CSR must give opportunity for young people to get experience in a field, to get some exposure to more than just, let me tap you on the head and give you medicine. It's about, let me give you some knowledge you can actually use when I leave here. You can be self-sufficient. You can do for yourself. Why should you care about young people? Well, you better care about young people. A lot of your industries need talent. I deal with the mining associations all over this country, all over the world. Banks, government, extractive sector, even the IT sector is struggling to obtain young talent. Because you're not Facebook, you're not Google, you're not Apple. But yet you're very important. Without you, there'd be no iPhone. But do you tell anyone that? They're also the future potential investors in your company. At the PDAC conference every year, I see thousands of miners looking for investors. If you're not doing anything with young people at 19 years old, when they're 28 and have a job and you need money, they only have $1 to invest, and if you do nothing to address them, that money goes to someone else's company. And they're also when they're going to work for the regulatory agencies that could basically stop you, that could make your life difficult. I could tell you we're going to build the bridge next week, you have to wait 500 years before you can build it. Your sector is facing challenges. The Human Resource Council of Mining and Petroleum, you see the comments here. These were created by the federal government saying we cannot attract young talent, or even diverse talent, or even new talent. I see the kid on the street wants Barrett Gold and give me a strange look. I'm a business major. I grew up knowing who Peter Monk was. The average kid doesn't care until you explain it to them. And youth unemployment is now a major issue. I did this presentation a year and a half ago, and I said this and people rolled their eyes. But I think maybe now the youth are starting to get your attention. The ILO makes it clear here, social unrest is going to be the norm until we get youth unemployment under control. Now look at the bottom. If you're going to build this turn around, youth are going to give up. And if they give up, that means they're going to turn to something else. I'm from Jamaica, and I can tell you what they've turned to. The #1 employer in Jamaica are the Colombian drug lords. And Jamaica's spending 35% of its GDP to fight crime. When they need hospitals, when they need roads, when they need bridges, when they need to invest in the new economy of tomorrow, they're busy fighting crime. Here are the results. I know Tyson mentioned this earlier, but the results are here. The Arab Springs is the tip of the iceberg. For young girls, the unemployment rate in the Arab world is almost 40-something%. Talent being wasted. You can make a difference there. The Keystone Pipeline, look at that. The oil sand ads are great. I see them on BNN all the time. They're great ads because I watch BNN. But where's the oil sand ad to talk to the young people? Where's the oil sand ad talking about how you use water that no one else could drink to run the oil sands? Where's that ad in a hip-hop social media format to let young people know we're just not destroying the environment, we're making an impact on you, a positive impact. So we get to Canada. What's the advantage here? This is StatsCan data 2007. For every 100 people who are leaving the workforce, if you are a visible minority, 142 are entering the workforce. This means when people enter the workforce in Canada today are people of color and are young. Versus the mainstream population, look at the numbers. Now, I'm a business major, I took HR, I work with a lot of HR managers. This is very common sense. You want to attract talent and get talent, what do you have to do? It's not rocket science. But no one talks about this. But how does this help you with your CSR initiatives? If it's Canada again, look at the African and Caribbean population who's mainly black. When I go to South Africa and I come off a plane, or in Botswana, I come off a plane and people say, I show them my passport, they question me as to if I'm Canadian. Because there's no way you're Canadian. No black man comes from here, from Canada. There's no such thing as black people in Canada. My friends come here, they also cannot believe how much black people they see from when they're here from South Africa or Botswana. They can't believe it. Why is that? So how do you leverage this? We have a three-pronged approach that we've used, and it seems to work. Number one is listen to the young people. We create a youth advisory board. So I see a lot of these protocols have been set up, a lot of these boards have been set up by the federal government. Young people don't know what these protocols are. I talked to my MP about this, and I said, there's this new extractive council on CSR. You talk to anyone else other than mining companies and government people? You talk to anyone who deals with young people, any educators? You talk to anybody? Is anyone on the council? A youth advisory board gives you authentic, unfiltered views of what the youth think and what they want, and what you can execute in the community to deliver. And it gives them real-world experience to start thinking like a business person and a person with social conscience. They create that bridge. Then create a CSR program. We focus on career and business skill development. That's what we focus on. We're not an NGO, we focus on business development. That's what we do. But again, you also have to focus on the at-risk youth. When the economy is bad, crime turns up. So we focus on working with the at-risk youth. An example of what a youth advisory board could do and how it can help you. The middle part in particular, look at that. Social media perceptions of your brand. Oh, remember that second slide. Mining companies have a bad image. Oil and gas have a bad image. Use social media, and the government officials, I'll say this about government, politics in general. Social media is not a one-way press release. It's called social media, it means you interact. Too often, I see government just dump press releases via social media, you respond to it, they never respond to you. If you use and you interact with young people online, they'll touch base with you. They'll get in touch with you, they'll respond to your pages. So a youth advisory board helps you create this, and it saves you money. Instead of spending $4 million on a CSR project over 2 years that delivered nothing, you may spend half that money and deliver something. You're getting it right from the horse's mouth. Marketing Research 101, talk to your customer. This is our 6-step approach to how we help in business and career development that we've executed now for maybe 11,000 young people in the last 4 to 5 years. Giving them skills they could use when you walk away. It's not about, no, we don't focus on build everything for them, build their mind for them. Help them see things that they can't see. A young person is only as smart as the person who teaches them. This is a current project we have in place today with a tourism agency, and we're talking to 2 mining companies on this one. A youth advisor is going to be set up. We're going to train the advisory board to think like an international business, and then we're going to send them on field trips to the place where the mining company does business, to look at new opportunities for supply chain, government, and new technologies. I'm going to take the students from the target countries and bring them here, hopefully use a center like this to deliver the same thing as well. That's CSR that has impact. Use the protocol, get to impact. The tourism company's setting up the tour right now, but how did I know to do this? We have a youth advisory board, and they said this is what they need. They said, I go to university, I got an MBA, but here's what I'm missing. They told us what they need, so we build it what they need. So then, if the company says to me now, Rad, we approved the project, I won't have just 1 kid sign up for it. I'm going to have too many kids sign up for it. I'm not saying this is the magic bullet. I'm not saying this solves the world. What I'm saying is that you have to get feedback from the ground level and work it up, and put it at the top of it, be open to new information. The culture of arrogance and ignorance has to stop. We have to be able to work together, because we all were 17, 18 at one point. But to be a kid today at 17, 18 in countries where you can't even access data, or there's too much data if you're in Canada, we have to be able to filter it to experience is the difference. I got my first summer job at 20 years old at Zurich Insurance. That changed my life. Someone gave me a shot. CSR has to reach out and create a real impact in someone's life, or it's just another waste of paper and a report. So I ended with this concept here. We were in Malaysia doing a youth marketing workshop for Islamic banks and institutions trying to figure out how to market to young people. If you think there's a cultural divide here, you're wondering why your kids always texting when you're talking to them, why your kids always on Facebook should be doing their homework, why their kids talking about tweets in the middle of their sleep, or another other thing where kids are texting in their sleep now. But literally, they saw a video of a girl sleeping and she's still texting her friend. It's a different era. But you should see in Indonesia and Malaysia, where you have parents who grew up in very strict Islamic cultures, and their kids are walking around singing Beyonce and Jay-Z songs, and the girls could break dance, and the guys have mohawks, the guys have dreadlocks like me. It's a complete cultural divide. They don't know how. We work with these companies in Indonesia and Malaysia, and we're helping bridge that gap. What we do, we build bridges. That's what we do. We connect the bridge between where you are and they are. Because the reality is, rather than hear from them, they're also going to hear from you. They're going to understand that, you know what, you would not have this without mining. Mining is important. We wouldn't have half the things we have in this world without mining. If it's done responsibly, it can make a positive change and difference. They don't know this. We can help you teach them to know this. And here we are in Waterloo at the bottom, in Kitchener-Waterloo, with a bunch of kids who 90% of them come from Congo, they come from Ghana, in mining communities. We have a very bad image of mining companies. And I had to sit there, a black guy with dreadlocks, telling them, mine is not as bad as you think it is. It's how the government regulates it. It's how you work with the company. But if they don't know, you can't blame them. I don't know some of your last names. You can't tell me I'm a bad guy because I don't know your last name. You didn't tell me. That's why we have to deal with it. Things are very simple. You come from the humans, we're very simple people. Ask for something, be willing to accept honest feedback, and respond to it. So we conclude with this. Again, CSR community outreach is just not about protocols and your report and a good slide presentation. It's ultimately about when you walk away, are people better off? That's what it also is about. If it's not focused on that, in our opinion, that's not CSR. That is not making a difference. That's just a checkmark item on someone's performance review at the end of the year. And as a manager, I hated doing that when I managed people at IBM. I want to be able to check them off and say, I want people who want to make a difference. And I want to attract talent to my industry who wants to work for it, not because I'm $80,000 in student loan debt and I just need a job. I want that young person to want to work for me, passionate about helping my company keep a financial and a social ROI. So if you're interested in learning more about what we do and how we do it, like I said, we're impact-driven CSR. That's all we do. And we focus on young people, career skill development. And we're very flexible with any type of project, but honestly, we really need to get serious in Canada. If we're really serious about making a difference at home and abroad, let's be authentic, let's use the protocols, but let's execute them and listen to people who don't necessarily talk and think like you every day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I'd be interested in knowing if people have any questions or comments afterward. The next presenter that we have is